Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for your yoga practice today. So today's class is going to be a yoga flow for a full body reset. So we're going to move into stretch, into open up into all the different areas of the body. We're also going to focus on really getting the energy flowing and the energy moving as well. So hopefully you can leave your mat today feeling refreshed, reset and revived and ready to continue on with the rest of your day. So we'll get started in a child's pose today. So let's come into a wide-legged version. Big toes come to touch, your knees go as wide as feels good. Sinking your hips towards the floor, your arms are in front of you, your forehead can be on the mat here. Or maybe bringing a block or a cushion underneath the forehead to bring the ground a little bit closer. We'll get centered here in our child's pose. Starting to breathe deep all the way into the belly. Relaxing your eyebrows, softening the jaw muscles. And we'll take 3 releasing deep breaths here. So inhale through your nose, breathe all the way into the belly. And exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale deeply, feel the lungs filling up with oxygen. Exhale, releasing. Last one, inhale for the deepest breath of your day. And then exhale, surrender. 2 more breaths here. Starting to settle into the present moment. When you're ready, we'll come to a tabletop position from here. So your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, fingers spread wide. Let's wake up the spine with cat-cows. Inhale, belly drops towards the floor, gaze forward. Exhale, tucking your tailbone, doming out through the upper back, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, cow. Exhale, reverse that, pull belly up and in, cat. Inhale, U, the letter U. Exhale, upside down, letter U. One more, inhale. And exhale. Bringing your spine into neutral. Now from here, we're going to take a side stretch. So starting to shift both hips over to the left as you shift both shoulders over to the left as well. So it's almost like you're trying to touch your left hip off your left shoulder. Feeling a side body stretch right side. 2 deep breaths here. Slowly back to center. Other side. So now both hips are going to shift to the right, but your knees stay where they are. Both shoulders shift to the right, but your hands stay where they are. Feeling the side body stretch left side. 2 breaths here. And slowly back to center. And now we're going to join the dots between those side stretches and your cat-cows for cat-cow barrel rolls. So your belly will drop towards the floor, shifting over to the right, starting to round through the spine, shifting over to the left. So it's as though you're trying to trace around the insides of a spherical object Really rolling here, getting explorative with it. Changing directions. Taking your circles the other way. Getting into all the little nooks and crannies of the body. 2 more breaths here. And then coming back to neutral. From here, we're going to extend the left leg behind us so that the left foot is in line with your right knee, and your right shin can start to go off on the diagonal so that the right foot will probably come off your mat. Your right hand is underneath your right shoulder, reaching left arm up to the sky and then letting the left arm come in line with the left ear with the left palm face down. For a really big side body stretch now, feeling a long line of energy all the ways from your left fingertips to your left toes. 2 more breaths here. Let's mobilize our shoulders. So starting to make some big arm circles with your left arm now. You can really open up to the chest as you roll back. 1 more big circle here. And then we'll bring it back to center. Let's go other side. So now the right leg is going to come back. So the right foot is on the same line as your left knee. Your left shin is a little bit off in the diagonal. Your left foot will be off the mat. Your left hand is underneath your left shoulder. And then you're reaching the right arm up to the sky, letting the right arm come in line with the right ear so that your right palm faces the floor. Breathing here for 3 more breaths into this really big opening now through the side body. Breathing deep. And let's start to take those big arm circles. So really warming up the shoulder here. Nice big opening in the chest as we roll through the shoulder joint. 2 more circles here. And then slowly back to center. Let's take cat-cow spinal waves. So for this, you drop the belly towards the mat as though you're in cow. Then you start to drop the hips back towards your heels. You start to round through the spine from here like you're coming into cat and then stacking the shoulders above the wrists once more. Let's bring breath into it. So inhale, belly lowers for cow, dropping hips towards heels. Exhale, doming out the back for cat. Inhale, cow, hips lower. Exhale, cat, tabletop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, roll forward to cat. So you can keep going just like this. We'll be here for another 3 rounds of this. Synchronizing your breath to your movement. Creating space in between all your vertebrae. Let's do 1 more just for good measure because this is actually feeling so good for me. And then slowly back to the center once more. Let's thread the needle. So your hands are under your shoulders again now. Your knees are under your hips. And then we're going to thread our right arm under the left arm so that the right shoulder and the right side of your face rests on the mat. You can keep your left hand beside your head, or maybe you wish to extend your left arm long, getting an opening into the left shoulder, underneath the left armpit, here for 3 more breaths. Left hand comes back beside your face if it's not there already. Just pushing into the left hand, coming out of that. Let's go to the other side. So now your left arm treads underneath the right shoulder, the left side of the face, and your left shoulder is on the mat. Right hand can stay beside your face, or maybe you extend your right arm long here. 3 more breaths. Right hand comes back in, just pushing back up to your tabletop position. And now from here, we're just going to come to kneeling for a moment. If kneeling doesn't feel good for you, you can do this in seated instead. Let's wake up the neck a little bit. So just dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder, feeling a stretch into the right side of your neck here. Maybe you bring the right fingertips down beside you if you'd like. Maybe the left hand even comes on top of the right ear, just above it, to apply a little bit of downward pressure. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly you can bring both hands down, roll the chin back to center. We'll pause in the middle for 2 breaths, breathing into the back of the neck. Rolling over to the other side, right ear is parallel to right shoulder. Your left fingertips are down beside you. You could stay like that, or maybe you bring the right hand just above the left ear for a tiny bit of downward pressure. 2 more breaths. When you're ready, bringing both hands down beside you, rolling the chin back to center. And from here, bringing the head to neutral. Now you can do this from sitting or kneeling. It's a seated a seated camel. We'll roll the shoulders down the back, come onto the fingertips, start to reach the chest up towards the sky as you maybe drop the head back if that feels okay for your neck. 2 breaths here. Keep reaching chest to ceiling. And then when you're ready, nice and slowly rising up and out of that, coming back to tabletop for a moment so that we can tuck our toes under and then push into the hands, send the hips up and back to the sky, down dog. So you're spreading wide through all 10 fingers, hands are shoulder width distance apart. Your head is in between your arms and your gaze is at your feet. For this first one, you might wish to have a deep bend in the knees here, and more so focusing on elongating through your spine rather than getting those heels to the mat. 2 more breaths. Keep pushing into the hands. And when you're ready, we'll just tippy toe to the front of the mat, nice and slowly, making your way forward into a forward fold here. So feet hips width distance apart, a bend in the knees for this first one. Let the head hang heavy. You could simply let your arms dangle, or if it feels good, maybe holding onto opposite elbows. Choosing stillness, or maybe a little wiggle side to side if that feels nice to you. Rocking the hips. Rocking the spine, breathing deep. 3 more breaths here, keeping that bend in your knees to really focus on releasing the low back. Last breath. And then letting go of the hold on your elbows. With a bend in your knees, we're going to roll in slow motion, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the ways up to standing. Our head is the last thing to arrive. Now, once we're here, feet are hips width distance apart. We're just going to twist it out. So you can let your arms kind of just sway over to the left. Your right heel can come up off the mat. And then other side, both arms sway to the right. Left heel comes up off the mat. And you can keep going just like that. Sorry, I'm hitting my ring off the wall. Just like that. Maybe closing the eyes, starting to really get the energy moving now. Breathing deep, twisting it out. 3 more breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale to reach our arms up to the sky. And now this time we're going to hold on to opposite elbows. Inhale to grow tall through the spine. Exhale to start to lean over to the left for a side body stretch, right side. 2 breaths here. Inhale back to center, growing tall through the spine. Exhale, leaning over to the right, side body stretch, left side. 2 breaths here. And inhale back to center. Now from here, we're going to interlace our hands behind our head. Our elbows are going to go wide. And we're going to start to take some upper body circles. So for this, you're just dropping chin to chest, rounding through the upper back. Then you're opening to the heart space and opening wide with the elbows as you move to the other side. So you're making circles here with the upper back. You can go as slow or as fast as feels good, getting into all the nooks and crannies. We'll change directions, taking it the other way. Another breath here. And then slowly back to center. You can let your arms come down beside you. From here, we're going to shake it out. So shake out the feet, the legs, the hands, maybe even dance, maybe even jump. Just shake it all off. Feel your energy really start to shake up. You can close your eyes. No one's watching. Do whatever feels nice. Maybe bounce the shoulders, bounce the heels even. We'll be here for about another 30 seconds of just shaking it out, letting it go, letting go of whatever is weighing you down, seeing if you can literally just shake it out of your body. 10 more seconds here. Last 2 breaths. Let it all go. Nice. And then we'll slowly come back to center. Coming to mountain pose, Tadasana. Feet hips width distance apart. Roll the shoulders down your back. Feel your feet rooting, earthing into the floor beneath you, into the earth beneath you. From there, feel the crown of the head grow tall towards the sky. You may even wish to sway a little bit side to side, a little bit forward and back. Allowing your energy to begin to ground down now. Become rooted, become earthed. Another 2 breaths here. And when you're ready, we'll inhale to reach the arms up to the sky, extended Tadasana, maybe gaze up. Exhale to fold forward. You can always bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. You can be on the fingertips or you can have your hands on your shins, but you want to aim for the torso to be parallel to the ground. And we'll take some halfway lifts to forward folds here. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. You can bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. From here, stepping the left foot to the back of the mat, dropping your left knee down. You're in a low lunge now on right side. We'll pause here for 3 breaths, breathing into the left hip flexor, left quad, right hip. You can have blocks if you have them on either side of your right foot if you'd like. And then slowly, you can either stay here or maybe start to pick the shoulders up above your hips. You might wish to bring the right foot back slightly to give yourself a bit more stability. Then from here, inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, open your arms to cactus arms. You're going to think of sending your arms back behind you, squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other, and then reaching your chest up towards the ceiling. Maybe you look up. Pausing for another breath here in this heart-opening cactus position. And now keeping your cactus arms, we're just going to stack the shoulders above the hips once more. We'll inhale here. Exhale from the core, twisting the torso to face the right knee. So you're twisting towards the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. 2 more. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Inhale to reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale to bring the hands to frame right foot. From here, half splits. So straightening through the right leg. You can have as deep of a bend in the right knee here as feels good to you. Your right toes flex back towards your face. Now hands can be on blocks here. That is really helpful if you have them. Either way, we're going to take some waves in our half splits. So inhale, lift. Exhale, fold as far as feels good for you. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Pausing here for 1 breath. We'll slowly rise up so that we can rebend into the front knee. And now from here, lizard lunge. So we'll bring our right hand, right elbow inside the right foot as we shimmy our right foot nice and wide. 3 breaths here in lizard lunge. Breathing into your right hip, knowing you can always have blocks under your hand. Last deep breath here. And then when you're ready, torso twists towards the right knee. Your right hand comes onto the right thigh. You can stay just like this in your lizard lunge twist. Or if you wish, Bending into the left knee, bringing left heel towards your left glute and seeing if you can reach around for the left foot, slowly starting to guide the left foot towards your left glute with your right hand. Now, if this isn't accessible for you, don't worry at all. You can just stick with the previous version. Last breath here. Slowly releasing that, bringing the right hand back down. We're going to step the right knee back to meet the left. Hands underneath your shoulders now. Inhale to lean slightly over the wrists. As you exhale, start to bend into your elbows so you can descend your belly, head and chest to the mat. From here, wide arm cobra rolls. So you're going to bring your hands out nice and wide. The hands are going to be in line with your shoulders and you're up onto the fingertips with hollows underneath your palms. Inhale, gently push into the fingers as you lift your head and chest up, gazing forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, rise. Only as far as feels good for your lower back. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Push up to tabletop and all the ways back to your downward facing dog. Pushing into your hands, gazing in between your feet. This time choosing stillness and down dogs. Or maybe you start to walk out your dog, bending into one knee, straightening through the other. Here for 3 more breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll once more make our way to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance apart. Let's come into that forward fold. Your choice. You can hold onto elbows or let the arms dangle. 3 breaths here. This time maybe you choose to straighten the legs a little bit more if that feels good to you, or you can always maintain the bend. Let's inhale, come to halfway lift. Exhale, stepping the right foot to the back of your mat now, dropping your right knee down, low lunge left side. So your hands frame your left foot. You can always bring blocks underneath them. Your gaze is forward. Back toes can be tucked or untucked depending on what feels best for you. Here for 3 more breaths. Option to stay here, or if you wish, starting to stack shoulders above your hips, positioning your feet in a nice stable position, maybe bringing the left foot back slightly. We'll inhale to reach arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms open here. So thinking of squeezing shoulder blades together, sending the arms to the back of the mat and reaching chest to the sky. 2 belly breaths. Your shoulders come back above your hips. Let's take those twists in our cactus arms. So inhale here. Exhale, use your core to twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to center, reaching your arms up. Exhale, bringing hands to frame left foot, straightening through the left leg for half splits. Left toes flex back towards you. You can have a bend in the knee at any depth that feels good to your body. Let's take our waves. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we release. Inhale to elevate. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold and hold for one breath. When you're ready, just rising out of that, rebending into the left knee, coming to the lizard. So your left hand, left elbow comes inside your left knee, your left foot scooches over nice and wide. Holding here in lizard for another 3 breaths, really diving deep into the left hip now, right hip flexor, right quad. You could always bring blocks underneath your hands, whatever works for you. Taking your twist. So twisting the torso towards your left knee, your left hand can come onto your left thigh. Staying here if it feels good for you, or maybe if you feel called, bending into the right knee, seeing if you can reach around, hold onto the right foot with the left hand. No need to force it at all, so only if it's accessible, and also only if it feels okay on your right knee. So you never want any pain or pinching in the right knee. Here for another 2 breaths. Whatever you've got going on, slowly releasing that and bringing the left hand back down. We'll pick your hips up so we can step the left knee back to meet the right. Hands under shoulders. Inhale, leaning slightly forward over your wrists. As you exhale, bending into the elbows, body, chest, all the ways to the mat. This time, Sphinx pose. So your toes are untucked. We're going to bring our elbows underneath our shoulders. You can have the palms face down, or maybe you interlace your fingers if that feels good. Roll the shoulders down the back. Gaze is forward. If this is too much for lower back, no, you can always walk your elbows forward to decrease intensity. Thinking of pulling the chest through your arms as your elbows create friction with your mat. So your elbows like kind of pull backwards towards your knees so that your chest pulls forwards. 3 more breaths here in Sphinx. Last breath. And then we slowly let our elbows open. We make a little hand pillow, and you can, by stacking one hand on top of the other, you can rest your head down. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'm afraid to squish my mic, but you can just rest your head down, maybe wiggling your hips a little bit side to side. And releasing your low back. And we'll bring our hands underneath our shoulders, tuck our toes under, push up to our tabletop and back to our last downward facing dog here. Pushing into the hands, sending your hips up and back. It's up to you, stillness or any other movement that feels good. Maybe bending into the knees, walking it out. You might even wish to roll onto the outer knife edges of both feet, starting to shift your hips over to the right, over to the left a little bit. Feeling a side stretch, right side body. And then maybe changing that, rolling onto the other sides of your feet, shifting your hips over to the right. Left stretch, side body, and keep pushing into the hands. And then slowly back to center. And then from here, we're just going to tippy toe once more to the front of the mat. This time setting up for a yogi squat. So walking your feet out really wide as a mat. Your toes can point off to the sides. And then bending into the knees. So you can sink your hips down towards the mat. And don't worry if you're up off the heels in yogi squat. That is so normal. If that's not comfortable for you, you can always stay here. So with the feet planted into the mat and just resting your elbows on your knees, you'll be working on a lot more strength if you're going for this one. And you're also getting your hip opening, of course. So it's up to you which option you go for. If you're down a little bit lower, you might wish to bring your hands onto the mat. You may wish to keep them there for stability, or maybe you bring your hands into prayer position, pushing elbows into knees, knees into elbows. 4 breaths here in Yogi Squat, Malasana. And then when you're ready, we're going to make our way to lie down on your back. So whatever way works for you, just taking yourself there. We're going to come to descend onto our backs, and we'll keep a bend in the knees, plant our feet into the mat. So feet are hips width distance apart. We're setting up for bridge pose. So your feet hips width distance apart, your knees are in line with your hips. And then from here, pushing into the heels, sending the hips up towards the sky. Active glutes as you do this. You might wish to kind of shimmy your shoulders underneath you so that your shoulder blades come closer together. Palms face down. Once you're here, active glutes, squeezing the glute muscles, sending knees to the top of the mat and sending your chest towards your chin. Here for another 3 breaths. Last deep breath here. And then we'll slowly lower down out of that. Letting the feet walk away from each other as your knees knock towards each other. Hands can rest on belly. 3 breaths here to recenter. And when you're ready, we'll bring both knees into the chest for a reclined child's pose. You may even wish to wiggle side to side as you hug your knees towards your chest. So massaging the low back a little bit into the mat. From here, bringing the knees and feet away from each other as though you're trying to wrap your torso with your thighs. You can stay like this in this reclined version of Yogi Squat, or you can bring the soles of the feet to face the ceiling for Happy Baby, holding onto the thighs, the ankles, or maybe even the outsides of your feet here. Thinking of reaching the knees towards your armpits in your Happy Baby. You can choose stillness or maybe wiggle side to side. Here for another 4 breaths. And when you're ready, we're bending into your knees, bringing your knees back together, dropping your feet towards the mat. Soles of the feet come to touch as knees go wide for a reclined butterfly pose. Supta Baddha Konasana. Hands can rest on belly. We'll take 3 releasing deep breaths here to just let go of any residual stress or tension we might still hold on to. So inhale through your nose, fill the abdomen up with air. Exhale, letting go. Inhale, deep breath, breathing all the way into your belly. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Last one, really going for it here. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Hands to the outsides of your thighs as you close your knees back together. Coming to Shavasana, so you can walk your feet away from each other, letting your knees knock towards each other, or you may wish to simply extend your legs long. Arms can rest on your belly or out beside you with the palms face up. I'll be here for another minute in silence, just giving your body full permission to surrender, to let go, to release into your mat, and allow yourself to be fully present for this next minute or so, just enjoying presence. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. One more minute here. When you're ready, just taking a deep breath here to signal to your body it's time to come back. You can wiggle through your fingers and toes, maybe rolling out the wrists, the ankles. If it feels good, reaching your arms up overhead for a big stretch. And then nice and slowly, we'll bring both knees into the chest, pausing for a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And then just make your way up to seated nice and slowly, whether you roll off to the side or roll up. We'll close our practice together here in a cross-legged position. Inhale, reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing your hands to prayer position at heart center, bowing your head to your heart. One moment here to connect with your heart space, your center of love, gratitude, and compassion. Taking this time to send yourself so much love and so much appreciation for the amazing person you are. Taking one deep breath here to really breathe in self-love. Feel it fill up your whole being. When you're ready, coming back to your space. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I really hope you enjoyed that practice. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.